What's up, friends and family? It's Pastor Josh.
And Autumn.
You know, we back with y'all. What is this called? What is this?
Marriage Monday.
Marriage Monday. Hey, we excited. You know, it was a long weekend. It just felt long, right?
Oh yeah.
Even Monday felt long. So
Definitely.
we decided that we're gonna do this a little early. We're just gonna pre-record. Still the same content you would have got live. You know, live. But you got it here. So tonight's topic is one I don't think it get talked about enough. Right? And we haven't talked about it. It's always every time we do Marriage Monday, we always try to find something that we really haven't talked about.
Yeah, and that is relevant to the people and that they can use, and we can try to help the best way we can with our knowledge and our experience from either our personal experience or from looking outside into other people's experience and what we know what not to do and what to do.
Yeah, and this is something I'm just happy to be blessed to do it with you, babe. And I'm talking about this. I know I'm talking about doing it with you, but I'm talking about this too, though, right?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so tonight's topic is
marriage killers.
Marriage killers. What is killing marriages?
Mm-hmm.
What is out there assassinating the very thing that you know that you covet, right? The very thing that you've built, you've worked hard for. What is out there trying to attack this God-given entity, union?
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead. I feel like you had something like
so
that.
I did, but I kind of want to leave it to the end.
Leave it to the end. Okay.
Yeah.
Leave it
and
to
then
the end.
we'll come back to what I was.
Let me unlock this with your face. Sorry. Technology. We got our notes right here, y'all. So, the first marriage killer that we want to talk about is
finances.
Ooh, money. Babe, let me hold something.
No.
Let me hold something.
No.
Come on. I'm on your account, you on mine. How can finances kill someone's marriage, right?
I think finances is like a really big thing in marriages, especially if you don't talk about it prior to, and if you don't want to share. And I think for some women, it's an unspoken thing where you keep your own account. You know what I mean? Like you keep your account to the side that your husband ain't on.
You got a side account, babe? Oh,
don't worry about that. But no, I ain't.
All right, don't tell on yourself.
Don't talk about. I'm not talking about my finances.
Okay.
I'm blessed. That's what I'm saying.
Well, when it comes to finances, I believe that it can be a hindrance only when there's not transparency. Right? Now, I think you just got to approach it realistically. It's 2020, man. Women have separate accounts. And I don't think it's a big deal, personally. I mean, as long as you ain't out there, taking from the home, right? Taking, money that we need and trying to stash it because you don't think we're going to be together in 5 years. Right.
But I feel like for me, having a separate account is like being able to support myself and have that confidence to say, okay, you don't have it, I got it.
Yeah.
Or, just a backup. Not saying if we don't work out that I'm on my own, but that can be the case. So don't get it wrong. But we're not encouraging that. You know what I mean? So
I know what you mean.
So you're not just saying promoting doubt and fear, but it's just having your own.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with having your own, right? Like I said, I encourage it. I think this is what also happens is when in relationships, couples are just not good managing money separate, period.
Yeah, that's true.
Or one person's just very weak at managing their finances.
Mm-hmm.
It can become burdensome because then I start dipping into your little side account.
Right.
Like, babe, let me get this. And you got it because you've been saving it on the low. So
together. So I think that's the part that starts the marriage killer. So if we have an account together, and I know you don't know how to save, and I save extra, and so you start, and I see the account starting to go down, and I'm like, what in the world? We arguing over money, and then it's like an argument that shouldn't have been an argument. In the first place. So it's like a money management that you should talk about together first. But I feel like that's one of the number one reasons for people getting divorced. Finances
Because they don't want to talk about it, right?
Yeah, and they get into arguments and frustrated with each other, and they don't talk about it. They're not transparent.
Yeah, and then especially when you look at it in homes where it's one income.
Yeah, you feel like one person has to take care of the other, and it's like you ain't putting in, but you steady taking out.
Oh my God! And we've been there. You know, I've been there before.
Sips water.
You know. I had to grow, but honestly,
it's alright because you spoil us now.
But that's right. I take care of my girl. But you know, I think that even when it is that one income, there still needs to be like transparency. Say, hey, babe, you know, like let's say for instance,
don't go spending, go shopping for Adidas pants and you don't need them.
Hey, I feel like you're throwing shots.
I didn't say no names.
Well, I got an income, so but anyway. I think we good on finance. We kind of covered, but I think we want people to take away transparency is key.
Yes, and don't let finances be a killer in your marriage.
Yeah, and please, because once you find yourself arguing about money, you already down the rabbit hole. You already in the wrong spot. You need to get out of that ASAP. Next one we're going to talk about is the flesh. The flesh. But it's 3 aspects of the flesh, right? You know. Mm-hmm. When you think about flesh, most of the time you think about selfishness. You know, when I think of flesh, I think selfishness. So, obviously, one of the flesh things that, let's just be honest, put it out there, lust, right? I'm married, right? I mean, I know the world is filled with beautiful women. It's filled with beautiful women. I know she knows that the world is filled with beautiful men. Mm-hmm. So, or handsome, I guess handsome. I don't want to say beautiful. Hey, it is what it is. So, I think when it comes down to that, I made up a decision in my mind. I said, you know what? At the end of the day, my queen, she got it all. She got it all. It took me. You know, I told my wife, no man. You know, I ain't always, been the best boyfriend. But I be doggone if I ain't the best husband. You feel me? Because
you feel me?
Yeah. And when I see other beautiful women today, I think from my standpoint, I can acknowledge it, right? I can see, but that's a beautiful, you're a woman, what I'm saying, and
not act on.
Yeah, not act on. It's not something I'm gonna pursue, right? And I'm not gonna waking up every day saying, oh, I'm looking for the next baddie. No, don't do that. And guys, you have to find a way to make sure you checking yourself, and a lot of times it depends on who in your circle too, because if you got some fellas that's in your circle, they some little hoes. Yeah, I can say that because I'm that man. If you and you married and you the only one married, yeah.
Well, I was going to say to the fact of your spouse knowing the other person. So for us, I feel like for me it's okay for you to call another woman beautiful, but that's because I trust you and I know that you're not going to act on anything, and I know people are beautiful. I know it's other beautiful people out there, like you said, beautiful women and men, handsome men.
Right.
You just have to talk about it and not feed into that lust and not that spirit that's trying to get you to tempt you, basically.
Don't get tempted.
Yeah.
Because if one person feeds into lust, that's going to cause the other to feed into another part of the flesh, which is what? Jealousy. Mm-hmm. Jealousy.
Yeah. So if I was a jealous person, I'd be like, nobody's beautiful. I'm the only person beautiful in this
I'm the only one in your eye.
You
can
only see nobody else.
Karate.
So, and I feel like that's unrealistic. And you can't do that. Like, people look good. And I know that people look good.
Yeah.
Just like you should know people look good.
It goes back to trust, though, man.
Yeah, and your marriage shouldn't be based off of people's looks alone anyway.
Say that again. Say it again one more time for the people in the bed.
Your marriage should not be based off people's looks or your spouse's look.
Right.
And I just feel like another part of jealousy is comparing your relationships with these goals or these picture perfect relationships.
Yeah. Don't even compare your relationship, your marriage to us.
Oh, anybody.
It's different. It's just so different. Mm-hmm. We got, I've known this girl since high school, right? And I tell people that we've been married for about 3 years, but it's like 13 years in the game of me learning her. So you got to know your spouse. I'm telling you, you got to know them, learn them, because if you learn them, you'll also know. All right, you'll pick up on stuff that are kind of deter lust. For example, my wife, you know, she know I might like certain looks, right? Like certain hairstyles, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, I'm talking about certain hairstyles or certain color on her, right? Because she's a beautiful woman. And so what I say to her, I said, hey, you know, that's a nice color. She picks up on that. She learns her husband's likes. And then, I ain't saying she got the change, but she wants to cater to me because she loves me. She said, you know, I'm going to wear this color for Zaddy. I'm going to go get this lingerie. I'm going to keep myself looking good for babe, right? That is the type of stuff.
What do you do for me? What you do for me?
You know, I do whatever you need. I do whatever you need. I can't stay on the camera now.
Oh, my goodness.
But I do whatever you need. Now, let's talk about, I think we had one more thing with the flesh, right? Pride.
Yes, pride and anger.
Pride and anger.
Don't let pride and anger
they are different. They are different, yeah. Because we put them together. We got
no, it was two more. You said one more,
Let's
so
go.
I said pride and anger.
All right.
So pride. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Pride, baby.
Pride.
Hey, real quick, Mackenzie waking up.
Oh.
Shut your mouth. Go ahead.
So pride. Don't not communicate, and I ain't gonna say give in, but don't let your pride. Don't let your. I can't focus because I'm thinking about Mackenzie. But don't let your pride hold you from talking to your spouse and communicating and letting them know how you feel.
Yeah, what's wrong?
And that can lead to anger because I'm being prideful and I'm not gonna apologize for something I did, and that's gonna create anger with you, and then we both bickering back and forth or quarreling over something that's small.
Right. It's major, man. Anger. I make sure I'm relatively a happy person. Like,
pretty cool.
You know, so it's not like I can get mad about, but when I feel myself even getting close to being mad, I make sure that I talk to my queen about it. All right. So we're gonna take a little break. The great Mackenzie, she wanted to get in our video tonight, so we're gonna let her. So let's finish this up, my queen. You ready? All right. So another marriage killer is children. Sorry, just playing. We're gonna talk about it, but church can be a marriage killer. Somebody didn't want to hear that. So, babe, how can church? You want me to go first?
Yes, please.
I'll go ahead and say it. If you spend most of your time, nothing wrong with your church family, but Jesus Christ, sorry. There's nothing wrong with your church family, but you have to understand that you have a family and a life outside of the church, the four walls church.
Agreed.
Okay? The four walls church. When you find yourself in the four walls, the building, with that building more than you do your own family, you run the risk of alienating yourself from the people that truly love you, right? And honestly, you are the church. So I personally feel like that's always been my thing. That's always been my thing, to feel like you don't got to be at church all day to be a believer. You don't got to be at the building all day, because that's who we are. And we found situations where situations will arise within the church that can tear marriages apart. Even, leadership, picking who's going to be the pastor, right? Maybe the husband or the wife doesn't like the leader, doesn't like the pastor. And he said, well, I ain't going back to church. You can go, or something like that, or she don't want to go anymore. Church can ruin their marriage. But then I bring this question as well. Who are you living for? Are you living for that building? Are you living for that pastor? Are you living for just because you like, the praise dance and all this other, whatever is attaching you to the body of Christ? It's not that building, right? So I feel like if you're at a good church, they'll make sure that they understand the importance of your time. And your time also, it needs to be balanced, right? It's got to be balanced. You can't have 90% the building, church building, functions, preaching everywhere. You're gone all the time. You got to go sing here, follow pastor here, do all that. And then your marriage is falling apart.
Yep, that's what I was going to say. I was just going to say you can't spend more time with your pastor and choir members than you do with your spouse. Yeah. Like you already work all the time, and then you go to church Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you only off on Mondays.
Right.
And that's the only time you have for me. I feel like that's it's not balanced, and it's not fair to your spouse if you're not using your time, and at least talking about it. It can be like a couple of weeks. That might be the case when you do something like that, but not every day, every week, all year long.
Yes.
I just feel like it's not fair.
It's not fair. And I'll be the first to tell you. My wife, she know I'm a leader. I'm always on the go doing something. But she knows also that I make sure I carve out times that I can come see their little faces, come cook them a meal. You know, no matter what I'm doing, that I make sure that I have time, even though I'm a highly obligated young man in the body of Christ. So let's go on to the next one. And the last category is family. Family can be a marriage killer. Mm-hmm. Should I start, my queen?
Always. Family
can be a marriage killer. And how you let your family influence your marriage. So when it comes down to your decisions, what's going on in your house, you know, between you and your wife, y'all already on shaky stuff, you know what I'm saying? You cannot allow your family to interfere with what you're trying to repair unless they're being productive. And 9 times out of 10, if they're not there with y'all, they don't know. And especially if they never had a good marriage themselves. I don't know who that was for. If they ain't never seen a good marriage, right? If they out there negative Nancy all the time and they trying to give you advice, that's not gonna be a good look. See, even Mackenzie know that's not gonna be a good look. Go ahead, babe.
So my take on that was with the kids.
Yeah.
Don't let your kids kill your family where you only solely in a relationship because of your kids.
Because of kids.
Yeah. So don't let having kids be the only reason why you stay in a relationship.
Okay.
And also don't let your relationship be only about the kids, because the kids are going to grow up. They're going to get older and they're going to leave. And then what you got? The relationship is going to die out. It's going to leave with the kids.
And I look at it like this aspect from the kids' standpoint: mixed families, blended families.
Oh, yeah.
Blended families, different. You know, we live in a world where, you know, there are blended families where, you know, the dad might, you know, bring his child to the relationship, and the wife, you know, what I'm saying, stuff like that. But don't be y'all need to go ahead and talk about how y'all gonna treat them kids.
It should be equally.
Yeah, should be the same. But don't be saying, don't you whoop Quintarion. Come on now. If y'all got married, husband can put their hands on just like he put hands on his kid.
You got to talk to all parties involved, all parents. But I think you can't let the kids dictate how your relationship is with your spouse.
Yeah, and kids can, and kids, so older kids know.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Don't let your kids play on your heart, on your emotions, and mess up your marriage too. Y'all can't even fix what y'all got going on because they instigating. These kids know that.
They don't want no mommy with such and such, or they don't want daddy with such and such.
Right. I think that was real deep, babe. That was important. People don't talk about that enough. Now, we actually have one more category.
Last one.
Yeah. Your work, your job, your career. That can be a marriage killer, right? And I feel like it kind of goes back to similar to the church. Time.
Yeah.
Balance. If you're not making time, if you're not seeking balance with that, when you're off work, be off. Cut that phone off, cut them emails off. My students know after 4 o'clock, don't text me, don't email me, don't call me.
And if you do, you just get a response
the next day, especially on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, because I value my time with my family. I value my time with my wife and my little one now. So work is work. Work will stay at work. I'll never forget one of my high school coaches when we came out and visited him. Shouts out to you, Coach Seacrest. At Fight High School, he told me this at a football game. He gave me and my cousin Alec Virgil some advice at the time. He said, "Never take work home with you." And when he told me that next week, all those tests that I thought I was gonna grade that weekend, left them right where they at. I can't let work. And also, if you work a job that's away from your family, well, you have to be away from your family. I feel like you have to be strategic in how you work around that. You have to understand, although we know you got to make money, you want that job security, but you also have to be strategic in how you care for your family when you're home, right? When you get home, the first thing you should do is rip and run somewhere else. That ain't got nothing to do with your job, just for something that you want to do, right? I mean, your family needs you. They need you there, right? You can't be playing this stuff.
Yeah. Your presence is important.
Right. So make sure that your job is not putting a rift in between your marriage. A lot of times, he or she, they might not say it. They might not tell you because they know that you already burdened enough because you making money.
Mm-hmm.
You making that bread. You got to pay them bills, bruh. Pay them bills. So
don't let those things be killers in your marriage.
Yes, because it can stress you too.
Mm-hmm.
Stress, that's another marriage killer.
Mm-hmm.
Stress will kill your marriage. Stress will kill your sex life. You will find yourself not getting none if you're too stressed. I'm tell you now. Or relieving them. Help relieve stress. But
you silly. So what I wanted to talk about earlier that I wanted to say was making sure. No. When we're saying marriage killers, the main thing, the first thing that popped up in my head when we said the title again was the devil definitely is a marriage killer.
He's all up in there. Yes. Every last one of them categories.
Yep. So all the categories, he is in
manipulation,
and he's trying his best to tear down what God had wanted to put together.
My God.
And so I feel like even if some people get married and they say, oh, it was not God ordained, it probably won't, but guess who was in the mix of that trying to make you believe it was God ordained in the first place, and then end up tearing it apart. So double dipping, he was in there having fun.
My God, that was good. Did y'all catch that?
That's what I was thinking. That's why I said save it to the end, because I feel like the devil has his hands in all of that stuff and all those areas, and that's his job to kill the marriages. So he is the ultimate marriage killer.
But he is. The enemy is the ultimate marriage killer.
Mm-hmm. But we gotta lean on God and compromise, and love on each other, communicate, and not
make time for one another.
Mm-hmm.
Find balance.
Yes, find balance.
And above all, pray, man. Pray, man. Have a relationship. Have a relationship that's just so strong, not only with yourself but with God. She knows. If it's anything we love outside of one another, it's our relationship with God. That's what keeps us steady. Love you, baby. Hey, thanks for tuning in tonight. This was Marriage Monday with Momentum Worship Center, Pastor Joshua and my queen, Autumn Robinson. We logging out. Y'all have a great night.
Yes.
Peace.
You see the baby eating the blanket.
I know. She's so cute.
Silly baby.